President Donald Trump promised that he would drain the swamp. Now he seems to be refilling that swamp with swamp monsters and loyalists while allowing others to be pushed out. A great example is the director of the U.S. government's Office of Personnel Management getting pushed out on Tuesday. Now, this person is in charge of human resources policy and the management of security clearances. Now, note that there were people a while ago, people like Jared Kushner that were having some issues getting security clearances. And so this guy might have had something to do with that. Now, unfortunately, the person that was there, Dale Cabanis, is no longer there. So now what happens? Turns out he got bullied out of his job, literally. Now, Politico is reporting that Cabanis had quit because of, quote, poor treatment from the 29-year-old head of the Presidential Personnel Office, a man named John McEntee, and a powerful appointment at OPM, Paul Dans, the new White House liaison and senior advisor to the director of OPM. So you have McEntee and Dans, who are now in powerful positions. Now, what do they have in common? They're both Trump loyalists. Now, McEntee is actually a former Trump body man. He used to serve in the administration until, of course, he got into a little bit of trouble over some gambling issues, right? So during that whole thing, back when there's a slight semblance of order in the White House, although there really hasn't been over the last 3 years, but John Kelly, who was Trump's chief of staff at the time, said, okay, I draw the line at this gambling stuff. You got gambling issues, you really can't be Trump's body man. Get out. Fired him. He's gone. Now, where's John Kelly now? Well, John Kelly was also fired by Donald Trump. And so now, with John Kelly gone, here comes McEntee. He is back. Politico adds that McEntee's return to White House has roiled the administration, with some officials criticizing the former Trump campaign staffer for what they see as an effort to stock the administration with his friends, including at least 3 college seniors. Seniors from college. Those are people that might be, I don't know, ill-prepared for the job that they have been given. But hey, look, they're loyal to Donald Trump, and that's all that Trump actually cares about. Now, McEntee was hired during a recent loyalist hiring wave that included members of his original team who Donald Trump feels most comfortable around. Among those rehires was our good friend Hope Hicks. Remember Hope Hicks, the one who lied to Mueller? Yeah. So, right. So, hey, she's back. McEntee's back. They're getting the whole band back together of corrupt Trump people. Awesome. Actually, not awesome. Turns out loyalty hires don't really make good policy experts. Just ask Jared Kushner how his Mideast peace plan went. Not very well. So the issue here is, of course, you've got yes men. How do you become a Trump loyalist? You do everything that Donald Trump tells you to do, even if it's illegal, as we saw with Michael Cohen, right? And other Trump loyalists. And not only that, but again, yes, you'll do criminal things, but you'll also not tell them when you're doing something wrong. So that's the other problem, right? That's how dictatorships run. They appoint friends and family to these important cabinet positions or positions in the government, and then they expect this to run. Well, actually, they don't expect it to run. They expect their buddies to profit, and that's what's happening. This entire Trump presidency is nothing more than a money-making scheme, and he's making friends for himself. He's making money for himself, and he's making money for his friends. And so that's really all it is. I'm still not sure Trump even ever wanted to be president. It was just a money-making scheme, but since he won, he's been like, I jump in it. Now I make as much money as possible, and people who are loyal to me will share in this. And here's the thing, though. I'm not saying that Trump is the only one who does this. No, no, no. I'm sure there are Democrats as well that hire loyalists, but it doesn't get reported as much. And that's because the media generally doesn't care about this kind of corruption. I know that's strange to say. Like, no, what are you talking about? We're talking about Trump corruption all the time. Yes, but what's different is that it's Trump. Not only is it more nakedly obvious with Donald Trump because he doesn't care, but let's be real. The media doesn't like Donald Trump. Well, I don't like Donald Trump either. And, so that's why I report on the corruption, because it's corruption and not because, I don't like Trump. That's just a side effect. That's the side effect of the corruption. And so, but look, they don't like him. And it's not because of his policy positions or it's because of his corruption. No, the media doesn't like Trump because he's rude, because he's not deferential to the media, right? Because he calls out the media. And he does so in a lot of cases very unfairly. I mean, he calls them fake news, says that, that they're the enemy of the people. No. The media has a bias. Yes, it is an establishment bias. It is a status quo bias, right? And it's not just that, of course, that there are bad faith actors within media. Us as progressives, we know this more than just as much as Trump people know it, right? Except that we're more unfairly attacked because we're progressive. But look, ironically, here's the thing that's happened during the Trump administration. The press has actually been better at calling out corruption than they normally are. Because again, you didn't see this level of reporting on corruption back during the Obama era. And so that's the big problem, right? They have been woken up only because somebody was rude to them. And that's bad. I think they're more willing to ignore it under other administrations, both Democrats and Republicans. And so that's my view. That's my view. So and in my view, this is clear corruption, obviously. And it is dangerous because you have a cabinet of loyalists that will not stop Trump from doing terrible things. And then putting people in jobs that they're obviously not prepared for. It's just more dysfunction in the government, all in order to make Trump and his friends extra money. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.